Alright, hello. It's been a while since we did one of the all my platinums. I think last time we ended on, I was on 271. I'm now on 292. Yeah, I thought we'd get through another 25 to maybe 50, depending how quick they are platinums. Talk about them a little bit. I still plan on doing like a big tier list ranking of them all at some point, but this is just kind of like a talk about them when I got them, stuff like that, and not so much about the difficulty of it. But we ended on number 100, which was The Last of Us Part 2. Obviously, that had to be my 100th platinum. So yeah, 101, I think this was still 2020, so it was when the PS5 basically had just come out. The Pathless, which was a really cool game. I got that. When the PS5 came out, there wasn't obviously many games that were on in physical edition, so that's pretty much the reason I played it, is because it was one of the only physical games I had on the PS5 at the time. Really enjoyed it. Very chilled, relaxing game. Really good vibes. Very simple, easy platinum as well. Super Stardust Ultra, correct me if I'm wrong, this was Housemarque, so the same people who did Returnal and Dead Nation and stuff. And just, yeah, really cool game as well. Not my favourite of theirs, but the order of this, by the way, might be a little bit out, because like Bugsnax would be around here, but I've done the DLC on that since, so that's kind of flew up the list. So like I said, the actual order of things might be a bit out, only for a couple of games here and there. But the next platinum was Maneater. That was my first platinum in 2021. I remember where I was sat and what I was doing when I was going for this platinum. I was just listening to podcasts during this entire game, because it's not one you kind of listen to the story for, or at least I didn't. Pretty cool game. I plan to go for the DLC at some point. I think this is one of those free games of the month. And again, because it was early PS5, I thought I'd give it a go. I don't play many of the free games of the month now. Maybe here and there I might, but not for the most part. But Maneater was one of them, and I enjoyed it. And again, like I say, want to go for the platinum at some point. Concrete Genie was up next. This was another really... I enjoyed this one. Some people kind of have issues with it. The story was fine. I think because I got through it fairly quickly. If this was like a super long game, maybe I wouldn't have been as into it. But earned it. I don't know if this is one of those kind of... I popped one years ago. Popped one February 2021. Okay, so it took me about 4 days. Basically on the last day, I just powered through the whole game. You can see it. On the 10th, I got basically all the trophies on that. But it was... yeah, again, complete the game, get collectibles. I want to get the DLC, but it's for VR only, so I have the VR headset. Maybe I can go for it at some point. Next up, we have Habroxia 2. I only bought this because I listened to the Last Stand Media podcast and have since mid-2020. So I know they didn't start in 2020, I think it was 2018, but I've listened to Colin Moriarty since 2013, I want to say, is when I first started listening to him, so well over 10 years, which is wild. But yeah, I wanted to support them and bought this game, and I didn't go for any of the DLCs. I will at some point, of course. Very easy platinum. 45.5% of people have the platinum. They had a game since Super Perils of Baking, which I do not have the platinum on, because that was just so difficult and hard. Correct me if I'm wrong, I was talking about like in between platinums as well, so Death Stranding, I need to get that at some point, but we all know about Death Stranding. Little Nightmares 2. I don't know if I mentioned Little Nightmares, which might have been further down the list, but Little Nightmares 2, I love the first one as well, but even prefer the second one. And the third one comes out this year, I believe, which I'm very, very excited for. I want a Little Nightmares tattoo, because I just love this game. I love the vibe of it. I love the level design's really cool. The music's great. The story in the second one especially is actually really good, especially that ending. The ending to Part 2 was so cool, and I'm very curious what they're going to do with Part 3, because it looks like it's not continuing directly from Part 2, but I hope it kind of plays in some way. We shall find out. Very fun platinum to go for as well. Like the trophies were kind of, you tried to figure them out a bit yourself, and then eventually have to search it up because you don't have a clue. Yakuza 0, I will go for this at some point. It's just I know how long it would be. So yeah, I got the first trophy in 2019. Then didn't play any till 2021 and then stopped. I really do enjoy the Yakuza games. I've played a few of them, but I never really see them through to the end because they're just that long. I think the only ones I've seen through to the end was Yakuza 2 on the PlayStation 2, because I'll back myself with Yakuza. I was a fan, at least for the UK release date, from day one. I played Yakuza 3, I want to say. Then didn't play any for years. Then it was Judgment, the spin-off game that got me back into the Yakuza series, and I completed that one. But yeah, I need to go through that. There's so many of them now that it's ridiculous. Maquettes, again, I think this was a free game of the month. This one was all about kind of perspective and a lot of puzzles. Not too difficult, I seem to remember. Some of the trophies I did have to kind of search up. yeah, you had to complete like all the levels in a certain amount of time, but once you knew what you were doing, it was pretty easy. But yeah, I remember actually really enjoying this game. It was a fun, if you're into puzzle games like that, it was enjoyable. Then I went through the Uncharted games, which of course was, I have this idea of a video because I've left one trophy for all of the Uncharted games, which was to beat the game on the hardest difficulty without changing the difficulty. I want to do like a video for each of them because I've got the platinums already. I can't really do a video on the platinums, but yeah, you can see here I went from Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 2 and pretty much then to Uncharted 3 by missing that one trophy. Uncharted 2 should be pretty much the same and missing that random trophy. But yeah, I adore the Uncharted games. Obviously, they're incredible. I think my order for them would be 4. I think it would go 4, 3, 2, 1 actually, or it would be 4, 2, 3, 1 would be my order. And I really enjoyed the spin-off game as well, the Lost Legacy. I think it was. I thought that was really strong. I'd put that probably definitely above 1, and then maybe above like 2 or 3, but I don't know. Yeah, Uncharted 4. I was going to say I'm pretty sure I played that fairly soon after. We'll get to that in a minute. Destruction All-Stars. Oh, and also the platinums for all the Uncharted games are really, really fun to do. The game's great anyway, but going for the platinums is actually really good fun. It's one of those rare games where I don't mind trying to find the collectibles myself, at least on like the first run through or the second, and then eventually I'd have to search up a few. But yeah, Destruction All-Stars was next. This was a pain. 0.1%. It is one of my rarest platinums, and I think the servers for the game have shut down now, so I don't think you can, because this was an online only game, all these were online trophies. I don't think you can get any of the trophies now. It was fun for about 3 to 4 hours, and then it got tedious. And I think like all the trophies were pretty manageable. It's like spike 3 rivals at once with the mornings. It's like you had to do something with every single car basically against the enemies. But win an online match with 16 different characters. I'd say around here there was like the final few trophies were such a pain to get. That one was horrible. Set all opponents on fire with one use of your ability. But again, I think I got that when there was only a couple of people in the match, so I got lucky with that. But usually you're against like 4 or 5 people and you have to set them all on fire in one go. It's horrible. Wreck all opponents with the countdown. You have to get lucky with some of these straight up. Red Dead Redemption 2 in my top 3 games of all time. It is number 3. I always switch between this and Bioshock. Number 1 is always The Last of Us for me. But Red Dead Redemption, I'm pretty sure what I'd say is number 2. And then Bioshock for me is number 1. But they swap. All 3 of them actually kind of swap. It's just so good. What hasn't been said about Red Dead Redemption 2? Played it in 2018 and didn't actually play that much by the looks of it. I played... Wow, I guess I just wasn't... I think this was around the time when I was more into like online games. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. But I was really into Apex Legends and stuff like that at that time. I think Fortnite maybe had just come out as well. So that was taking over the world. So I just never really followed through with Red Dead Redemption, and then got to it in 2020 and 2021, and obviously I'd heard everything about the game at that point. No spoilers with story, but just in terms of how amazing it was, and yeah, obviously it's absolutely incredible. Bit of a stressful platinum sometimes, like trying to find the right animals and skin them and get the perfect skinning and the animals not showing up when they're meant to and stuff like that, but that's kind of to be expected with a Red Dead Redemption game, I think, so you kind of don't mind. The online was fine. I didn't adore the online, but I did play, like, I got all the online trophies with my dad, so that made it a bit more enjoyable at least. It Takes Two, same people who did A Way Out and Brothers. Their next game, Split Fiction, comes out this year. I think in like a couple of months actually. It Takes Two obviously won Game of the Year at the Game Awards as well, which it fully deserves, I believe. But fully co-op game, again, played it with my dad. I was living with my dad around this time for a few years, so we kind of played. Most of these games coming up I probably played with him, we'll just assume, but because this is a co-op game, yeah, really fun trophies, really great game. Finds a way where every level is kind of mixing it up to where you're not really falling into the same trappings, and it feels fresh every chapter you go into, so can't wait for that next game. I'm very, very curious what they're going to do. So, no silver trophies. I've just realised it's 10 bronze and 10 gold. Uncharted 4, I think my favourite of, again, all the Uncharted games are amazing. I think easily my least favourite is 1, but that's just because it's like finding its footing a little bit. So, but 2, 3, and 4 could switch at any given day. The only trophies I'm missing is the survival mode, but it was to do all the stages on crushing and get 3 stars, and it's just not gonna happen. That is actually genuinely really difficult. But yeah, love the game. Then wow, I literally just had Uncharted month, didn't I? So I got this platinum in March of 2021. I wasn't living with my dad at this point, by the way. I was about to, because I was about to go through a breakup. The breakup, I think, was October of this year, and that's when I then moved in with my dad for a bit. So yeah, so this was March 2021. Not quite October yet, but that was March as well. Then that was wow, I literally just binged Uncharted. This couldn't have been March as well. What basically was, I mean, just on the cusp of going into April. Lost Legacy though, absolutely brilliant. I really love Chloe and Nadia. Nadia was her name, I think. I'm blanking. Again, it's been 4 years. But Chloe, absolutely love. So it's cool to play as her. Then we have the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered. This was obviously only the campaign, so you didn't get any online stuff with this one. But Modern Warfare 2, not even one of the best Call of Duty campaigns, but I think for me one of the best campaigns ever. I hold a lot of like nostalgia to Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. Not so much the remastered, of course, but just back in 2007 and 2008. 2009. Yeah, because World at War, I guess, would have been before that. Well, World at War was one of my favourites as well. But yeah, I hold a lot of love for not just the online stuff, but even that campaign. I remember my mind was blown just with that campaign at the time as well. So yeah, really cool to go back and get the remastered. I was missing it. It seems like I took a break and came back to it. What was I missing? Oh, to go through the game on Veteran, maybe? No, I went through the game on Veteran. Oh, I guess it was just like random trophies I missed, so I probably just was like, you know what? Let's just complete every mission without dying or reloading a checkpoint. Oh, any difficulty though, so maybe I went through on like easy or something. I don't know. But yeah. Hitman 3, another incredible... I think I only really, from this point onwards, in Platinum games that I really, really enjoy. I don't think I'm really going to get a game where I'm like, this is absolute dog shit. But Hitman, I love the Hitman series. I have since... I think I played Hitman 2 when that was released. Stealth Assassin or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. But Hitman 2, when that came out, I wasn't there for the release of the first Hitman, but Hitman 2. Silent Assassin, I think it was called. And then Hitman... Absolution, and then it took a bit of a break for a while, and then they started the new one with Hitman. I didn't play Hitman or Hitman 2, and then Hitman 3 came out, and this basically has all the DLC from Hitman and Hitman 2 anyway, so I started going through that DLC and then stopped, so I want to go... I think I just played so much Hitman at that point, I needed a bit of a break, but I will go back to that at some point because this was such a fun game. These levels, I think it's only like really 5 big levels, so it doesn't go on too long, but the design to all of them, especially that one level, the one in the like mansion, I forgot what it was called. I want to say it was yeah, this one, Master of Complete Death in the Family. That level I still think about that level sometimes randomly, just like how good. All of them were great, but that level specifically was so good. And yeah, looking at the little icons here, you can see remember the levels from there. So yeah, really cool game. I've always loved Hitman though. So A Plague Tale, this I'd played before 2019. I went through the whole game when this was released, so I really enjoyed it, and we'll have the second one further up as well. But then I went back to it just to kind of get all the collectibles, and that was basically all I was doing. I don't think I even went through the game again. I think it still had my save, so I was just doing like loading up chapters, and that's when I got the platinum, because it was a fairly easy platinum, 9.2%. Yeah, I enjoyed The Plague Tale. Really cool story. Whoa, Dave. I've been trying to get trophies on this for years. 2015, I got the first one. Then I came back to it in 2021. And then I have played it a few times since. But it's so difficult. Like the rarest trophy, 3.3% is not that bad. But I can't even get to 300 pennies. I've tried so many times. I can't get to 300. I need to get to 1,000 to get all. There's no platinum to this, so I'm not that desperate, I guess, but it would be cool to have 100% on it. But yeah. Then we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Again, I think this is one that I played 2017 and then just kind of mopped up for the most part, just got random trophies. The hardest trophy on this was you guys know it, this one. Skydive to safety on veteran. Oh my god, bro. I think like 4 hours this took me, 3 to 4 hours. So difficult. It's that mission where you're on the plane and one bullet, maybe 2 bullets, you're basically dead. And you have a timer of, I want to say it's like a minute and a half, or maybe even 60 seconds. You have to get through the whole plane, clear everyone out. Oh, bro. The stress. But the pure joy when I finally got it. This was basically when I was just platinum year. This was. Every game was platinum. Gorogoa. This is from Annapurna, I believe. So this is another one that's kind of about perspective and a puzzle game, indie game. Very, very cool though. I really, really enjoyed this one. I just love like the atmosphere of it. Very quick. It didn't take too long to get through it. There's only 12 trophies as well. All gold. Pretty cool game. Can't remember much about the story, but I remember it being really cool. Arise. I love this game. My favourite thing about this game was the music. I thought the music was so good. I have a couple of the songs on my Spotify from this game, actually. But yeah, played it in 2020, then came back to it in 2021 just to get all the collectibles, I believe. But just the atmosphere of this game, the story was really well done. I think games kind of, since playing this one, I've noticed that a lot of like indie games kind of go for this heartfelt, I'm dying story. And I'm sure there's, definitely tons before that, even since Journey and stuff like that. But something about this one kind of stood out a bit more to me. But the gameplay was a little bit clunky. I remember some of the like platforming sections were a bit Resident Evil. Oh, this was Resident Evil time, bro. Oh my god, you're about to see so many Resident Evil games, it's not even going to be funny. First up, we had Resident Evil 3. Probably the weakest of like the remakes. We've only had 2, 3, and 4, of course, but yeah, probably I think most people agree it's the weakest out of those 3. But I still really enjoyed it. I'd never played Resident Evil 2 or 3 on the PS1, so the story and stuff like that was new to me playing this one. And I really, really enjoyed it. It was fun gameplay. Very, very quick. I think that's the main issue a lot of people had with it, was just how quick this game was compared to like Resident Evil 2 and 4 when that comes out as well. So but I didn't mind so much. It was, 4 or 5 hours. And then I've always said that going for the platinums in all the Resident Evil games are just so much fun. They have really enjoyable, fun platinums, and none of them are super annoying to go for. So there might be the odd one here and there, but that's really about it. Oceanhorn. This was cool. I think this is another one I played in 2017. Came back to it, got all the trophies. It was enjoyable. I think they have a second one out as well, which I might play at some point, but I'm not super desperate. Can't remember much about the story. It was just more about the fun gameplay and the fun kind of atmosphere and all that. These islands you had to travel in between. It was quite cool. Probably the most boring trophy icons I've seen. Watch Dogs 2 was good. Got all the deals. God, I can't remember going for the DLC on this. What? Finish? Oh, was it just like operations? Reach the maximum win streak bonus. Okay, so there weren't... That's probably why I don't remember, is because they're not like full-on DLCs, it doesn't seem like. But yeah, it was a cool game. It was in San Francisco, I want to say, so it was a bit different to the vibe and tone of the original Watch Dogs. And I didn't even bother with Watch Dogs Legion because I heard that was absolutely terrible. So, but yeah, this was, a bit of a, I won't say a GTA knockoff, but it's open world hacking things. I actually preferred the first Watch Dogs. I know they added so much and the graphics were heavily improved with this one, but something about that first game felt so, I don't even want to say new and different. It just felt cool though when that game came out. And even though that game was heavily dunked on in 2014 or whatever it was when that came on. But I enjoyed the first one. And the second one was cool as well. But right, then come back to Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2. Missed out on these DLCs. I'm not sure what this is. Complete the No Way Out scenario. Destroy all Mr. Raccoons hidden in the Ghost Survival. I don't even know what that is. Might go back and get that at some point, but yeah, I absolutely love this. Game's like an absolute 10 out of 10 for me. Maybe not 10, maybe like a 9 out of 10. But just so fun. Again, really enjoyable. Platinum this. You have a icon of Ada there, so that's absolutely going to get a win from me. Leon, Claire, all of them brilliant. And again, hadn't played this game when it came on PS1. I played the very first Resident Evil, but not 2 and 3. So story and all that was very, very new to me. And just having Mr. X stalking you around the police academy, bro, still spooky. Hearing his massive footprints, how can you not quiver at the thought of that? So, and then my favourite Resident Evil, which I've spoke about before because we had it on the PS3, we had the Platinum, but of course I had to go for the Platinum again on the PS4. Resident Evil 5, my personal favourite. As I've always said, I know it's not literally the best Resident Evil. Realistically, that probably is number 4. I just have so many good memories with 5. Because of that co-op experience, I've just played through it with... I've played through the campaign of this with so many people. And I can go back to it because I've still got DLC trophies I'm missing, so... I'm really hoping they do a remake of 5. I don't think they will, but... Oh, I would love if they did. Life is Strange Before the Storm. Life is Strange, I enjoy these games. I kind of like the point-and-click adventures, but this one was probably the weakest. It was just... I do not care for Chloe as a character. I think I did in the first Life is Strange, but then I came to this and the dialogue... I mean, the dialogue's never amazing in Life is Strange, but this one felt extra cringe. So I enjoyed the game, but it was like a kind of laughing as I'm playing it. You know, it's Life is Strange, it's fun. Need for Speed Payback, I tried with this game, it bored me half to death. I need to get back to it at some point because unfortunately I popped a trophy and I didn't even really mean to. So now I'll kind of have to go platinum it at some point. But yeah, it was boring. It was a very boring game. Speedrunners, pretty cool game. I remember playing this years and years ago, so I went to get some of the trophies, but I'm missing one trophy, which is to reach max XP. 90%, it's like I might as well just get it. Gang Beasts, another fun party game. I think I just played it any time people would come over. So yeah, like 2019, 2020, 2021. But then there came a point where I was actually kind of close to getting all the trophies, so I just went through and grabbed them all. Back to Resident Evil with Resident Evil 6. I think we have more Resident Evils coming up as well, but yeah, Resident Evil 6. Easily the weakest that I've played. I know there's actually weaker Resident Evil games. Well, oh no, I have played Resistance, which we might have already spoken about. Yeah, that would have been in the last video. Resistance was the worst, the online game. Out of the mainline Resident Evil games, I'd say this is the weakest. But again, I still really enjoyed it, just because I was playing it with my dad, it was a co-op. You can play through this whole campaign in co-op. And I think the Leon campaign was cool. Chris's was fun. Jake's was... I didn't care for Jake's. Ada's was... I mean, that's Ada, so I'm going to be a bit biased on that one. But that one was cool. But yeah, I think it's like kind of how I imagine a lot of people see Resident Evil 5, where they just see it as like a big action game, but not really much of a Resident Evil game. Which I fully get that as well. I don't really play Resident Evil 6 for the story. If I was playing this by myself, I would have been bored out of my mind. I think, but Carl made it way more unbearable. These DLCs, though, I don't think you can get them anymore. I think they're online ones, which is a bit unfortunate. Maybe you can, but I don't think you can. Murdered Soul Suspect. This was another one that I played years ago, but just came back to get the platinum because I popped one in 2017 like a fool. Luckily, it wasn't the worst game. I kind of got through it very quickly. An okay story. It was a lot of picking up items. I think there was a lot of collectibles in this one, I seem to remember. And yeah, they got to a point where the story was interesting, and then it just kind of... I was so uninterested at a certain point, so I just kind of rushed through it. Yeah. Collect 150 artifacts. And that wasn't even all of them. I assume there's 200 to get all of them. Learn about this person's life. Blah, blah, blah. Defeated a demon. A gold. And 82% of players basically have that. Wow, so yeah. It's kind of like a B-level game, so you kind of have a bit of fun with it. There's another Yakuza game, which I only played a little bit of. Keep in mind though, these chapters go on for a long time. Each chapter's like a film, more than a film. Like 3 films. Dragon Quest Builders 2, this is basically just Dragon Quest's version of Minecraft. It was good for a bit, and then I just kind of fell off it. The thing is now, if I was to ever go back to it, I'd need to restart, because I've no idea what I was doing. Our next Resident Evil, there it is again, Resident Evil 7. So again, still was on the Resident Evil train. When they went first person and kind of brought it back. Oh, I played a bit in 2018 and came back to it. Yeah, first person, actually spooky, dare I say. Like, it actually is a horror game that actually is a horror, which is nice. I can't remember when this came out, if people were kind of disappointed by it or not. I think there was definitely a point in the game where it stops being but those first couple of hours were really, really well done. And I enjoyed the game, I think, so I need to go back and grab the DLC for this as well. Banned Footage 1, 2, End of Zoe, and Not a Hero. But yeah, Resident Evil 7, probably on the list for me in the middle. Not one of my favourite Resident Evils, but I don't think it was one of the worst one. Definitely not one of the worst ones either. Marvel's Avengers. I mean, this is on my 10. platinums I gave up with was Marvel's Avengers. I actually went into this game intending to get the platinum, and then I did the campaign and then started to grab some of the other trophies, and I was just so bored. I was so bored. I couldn't do it anymore. I could not do it. Collect 500 gear pieces, rescue 100. It's just like, oh my god. So I don't think you can get the platinum anymore. I think the servers are down as well, but I'm not sure. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Never been huge on Ratchet and Clank. We've had a couple previously in previous parts, but yeah, I enjoy them. I've always been more of a Jack and Daxter guy. Again, cool story. The graphics were incredible. Again, 2021, I think this was one of the first big PS5 exclusives that had come out, which is mad to think that that's been 4 years almost. Oh god, what is happening to time? I don't understand. It goes so quick. But yeah, not hard platinum at all. So Spyro. I was there with Spyro in the PS1 days. I remember buying Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon on the day of release, I want to say, in the UK. And I remember going to Game to buy it with my dad. And I don't know why specifically I remember about that is getting the bus home. Because we had a car. So why did we get the bus home? Don't know why I remember that, but that's, yeah. Yeah, I love Spyro, obviously. And I went through this game when it came out, 2019, it says here. But very easy platinum to go through. You just do this on this level, do this on this level. Yeah, it's kind of cool going through these levels again, because it would just remind me of playing them when I was a kid. I think we have all the Spyros on here at some point. So, Resogun, again, I think this was just a mop-up that I did. But we spoke about Resogun already on when the PS4 was released, so yeah. Sniper Elite 4. I've actually recently been going through Sniper Elite 3. That'll be right at the top of the list. And Sniper Elite 5 just came out. Well, came out last year. So I did that. And then Sniper Elite Resistance is the one that just came out. So I want to get to that at some point. But I'm in a Sniper Elite phase at the moment. But Sniper Elite 4 I remember being pretty difficult. The worst part about the Sniper Elite games is there's so many collectibles, so you are just watching a video a lot of the time, not where they all are. Because it's not one of those for me where it's like fun to kind of find the collectibles by yourself. A lot of games it is, like Resident Evil, Dead Space, I think are great for that, but yeah, not so much Sniper Elite. Something about the collectibles in this game is like, I don't care, just show me where they are. I feel like the most fun collectibles to find by yourself would be the Stone Eagles. Yeah, but it's still a really great game. I enjoyed Sniper Elite 4. I didn't get the authentic mode because that was meant to be insanely difficult, and I'd just gone through the game and really could not be bothered. But I might try that again with my dad in co-op, because I played this by myself. Spyro 2, there's the second Spyro, so again, really cool going through this, seeing some of the levels that I remember growing up with. Yeah, it's Spyro, amazing game. What Remains of Edith Finch, really great indie game. Doesn't have a platinum, but I think I've played through this game about 3 times now. Very simple game, but just a really, really cool story. They're kind of like mini vignette stories, but to do with the same family. So it's the same story, but it's just like each chapter's about a different family member and how that family member perished. So yeah, and the design of the house is just, you kind of see in the thumbnail there, the design of the house was so cool. Donut County, another fun indie game, very easy platinum, very quick as well. Telling Lies, I think I was in indie game phase with this one. I think this was Annapurna as well. Oh, they both were. So I had the Annapurna box set that had like a load of their games on, and those two were one of them. And the Sayonara Wild Hearts, which I don't know if we've had yet, was on there. And then there was another Annapurna game I spoke about a minute ago. But yeah, Annapurna games I don't love all of them. I can't say that because I've not played all of them, but the ones I've played, I really do enjoy the Annapurna games. This is like a live action one set on a computer screen, so you kind of have to click where you're going and stuff, but I remember enjoying this. The story was pretty cool. Rainbow Six Siege, I do have the PS5 version of this as well, but I don't have the platinum for that one. I've enjoyed Rainbow Six Siege. I'm shocked it's still going, because I remember when this game came out and it's still going, and they're doing a big revamp to the game called Rainbow Six X, I believe, which is like a huge graphical rehaul of it, and I'm very curious about that. I'm hoping I don't think they will, but it'd be cool if they release a new trophy list for that, just so I can go for the platinum again. But yeah, it's a game I'll pop back to every now and again. This was another Annapurna game. Very easy platinum, I just didn't complete it for some reason. I don't think the story was really grabbing me with this one, so I need to get back to Kentucky Route Zero at some point. Returnal, Housemarque, love their games. They just announced their new game as well. and I loved Returnal. It was a weird time with Returnal because this is when, as you can see here with the platinum, I was about to go through the breakup, but it's like the breakup like headspace was coming in, and then at the same time I lost a load of money in crypto, so it's like a really crap couple of months, a few months around this time. But I remember Returnal, just really enjoying that, so that kind of helped. The Returnal helped with those shitty few months. Need to go through the DLC on that at some point as well. And yeah, very excited for the next game. Hades, another really brilliant game. I didn't love it as much as a lot of people. I know a lot of people consider this like a 9 or a 10. I'd say an 8 out of 10 to be fair. I still think it is a great game. And Hades 2's been out for about a year on PC, but I'm waiting for the full release of that on PS5, which would be really cool. I'll definitely play that. Kingdom Come Deliverance, obviously Kingdom Come 2 has just come out, which I'm fully into at the moment. I've done about 10 hours of that at the moment, so I need to get, there's plenty more to go. But I really enjoyed the first one. It's a bit clunky, but it's kind of meant to be. But I understand that a lot of people, it kind of turns a lot of people away fairly quickly. But the story, again, the dedication they give to the game to making you live in this medieval world, and you actually have to like feed yourself and bathe yourself and sleep at the right time, or he's shitting fighting, and you have to build up his swordsmanship throughout the game, but just done in a really authentic, sometimes even frustrating way. You kind of have to respect it. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the second one as well. L.A. Noire, yeah, I spoke about that in the PS3 version, but very cool game. Horizon Zero Dawn, obviously went through this when it came out in 2017, but went back for the platinum. So I think my dad had just got the platinum for this around this time, so it made sense. I tried, and he was kind of showing me where all the collectibles were and stuff like that, or whatever I needed. But yeah, I don't adore the Horizon games. I kind of find them a little bit frustrating a lot of the time. I feel like with this and the second one for me, there's always something missing to make you like really fall in love with it. But graphically, it's amazing. I think the story is really good. But for me, I'd say that they're both 8 out of 10s, which is still great. I still think they're great games, but I'm never in love with them. I don't know what it is. I never love either of them. New Game Plus, I just couldn't be bothered with because I've just done the game, but I will at some point. Predator Hunting Grounds. This was another platinum that I just gave up on because, what was it? I was playing it with my dad again. Yeah, as the Predator, travel a total of 100 kilometers in the trees. It's like, you can't leave your controller to do it automatically. Like, you have to actually physically play that. As the Predator, claim 1,000 Fireteam member trophies. The problem is, if I do want this platinum, I'm going to have to go for it soon, because these servers are going to go. I should probably get on that at some point. Life is Strange, True Colors. Yeah, I enjoyed this one. This wasn't done by the same people who did 1 and 2, but I really enjoyed just the kind of town. The story wasn't amazing with this one, but the town that you kind of walk around in I thought was really, really cool. So graphics were really great as well. And again, it's Life is Strange, so the platinum is very, very easy. But yeah, cool story. Didn't enjoy it as much as 1 and 2, but still really good. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, again, played this when it came out in 2019, but went back through the campaign and got all the trophies I was missing. One of the better Call of Duty campaigns, I think. I'd say top 5 for me. I'd say like Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 and World at War are probably top 3 for me. But then this one I'd probably put in that group as well. Oh, Black Ops, obviously Black Ops 1 and 2 is in that pile. So yeah, this is one of the absolute better ones for sure. Resident Evil, this is a platinum. I won't say I gave up on this because I actually fully intend to get this one because I want all the Resident Evil games platinumed at some point. But I went through the entire game and then had to go through the game on the hardest mode. And bro, it is difficult. It was difficult. And I was a bit frustrated as well because I didn't get the trophy to search. The trophy guide that kind of gave the impression that you only had to step into every single room in the game, but you actually had to pick up an item in every single room in the game, or something like that. Visit all places on the map, that's it. I went into every single room, but you actually had to like search every container and stuff like that. So it was a little bit off. Bit of a lie with the... That's fine, I'll go back to it at some point. A Way Out, again, same people who did It Takes Two, but just went through again with my dad and got all the trophies, because I played it when it came out. Cuphead, very difficult game, but I will get that at some point. City Skylines, cool game, just a lot to it, and there's a lot of DLC as well. Yeah, Airport, Sunset, it's like a build your city kind of game, obviously. But you have to really be into these games to go for the platinum, I think. And they're good, they're cool, but I just find myself getting a bit bored of them after a little while. So maybe not for me. Dead Nation, really cool game. That was on the PS Vita. So yeah, I had a trophy from years ago, and then I was like, oh, I'll try and go for the platinum, and then yeah, I just couldn't get it back into it. I think I did one trophy. Yeah, all 2015, and then I did that one, and then didn't know anymore. So it's just kind of thrown it up the list. That's all it's really done. Doom. This was now from this point onwards was when I was living with my dad. So a lot of these games I just kind of went through with my dad. Yeah, 29th of October, 2021. Love the Doom games. We have Doom. What's the new one called? It says Doom, Doom Eternal, then Dark Ages. So Doom 3 kind of the new Dooms comes out this year, which I'm very excited for. But yeah, really, really fun game. Uno. I remember getting the last trophy for this. Oh my, what was it? It was win a game with more than 700 points. Bro. Yeah, that was the last one. Oh, bro. I don't know why that one took me so long. It has a 5.2% rarity, which isn't super rare, but I remember there's a video, not on this PS5, but on the other PS5 of me earning it, and I just cheer, because it took me so long. It's Uno. Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War. Again, not one of my favourite Call of Duties, but yeah, I'm missing the platinum on this one as well, because of the Zombies Dead Arcade mode, which is to defeat the mama back. I could not do it. I actually tried so many times, I could not do it. Very, very difficult trophy. But again, I kind of want all the Call of Duty platinums, so I need to go for it at some point. Wolfenstein, spoilers, completely gave up with Wolfenstein 2. But the first one was fairly reasonable. Really, really great game. I was kind of in Doom and Wolfenstein mode at this point. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Wolfenstein games. Played them in 2014, but came back to them in 2021 to finish it off. Yeah, okay, I think we'll go to the end of the year, because I know where the last trophy was with this one. So, Outlast 2, I played a little bit of it. Did I play? Yeah, I played it in... When did it come out? 2018. Then played it in 2019, a year later, and then played it in 2021. I've never completed it, though. I always get close and then never complete it. I don't know why. Deathloop, didn't love this game as much. I remember when IGN gave this a 10, I was so confused. I did not understand. For me, this is a 7 out of 10. It's a good game. Maybe even a 6. I just didn't get it. Still went for the platinum, but I did not get this game at all. I got it, I understood it, I just didn't get the hype for it. It was well stylized, it was well voice acted, but story, I mean, people don't play this one for the story, I don't think, but yeah, even the gameplay was just cool, I guess. But yeah, it was good. It was good. Golden Loop DLC, I think that's been added since, because that wasn't there when I played it. So I'll have to grab those at some point. Shadow of the Colossus, incredible game. I never played this on PS2. I felt like this is a game a lot of people played on the PS2 era, but I never got to it. So yeah, it was cool to experience this. I played it in 2019, but didn't complete it, and then completed it in 2021. And yeah, so I got to the 10th Colossus when I first played it, and then completed it, the 16 Colossi. I need to go back to the platinum on that, which I actually really want to do. But I'm glad I've waited a bit, because now I can experience the game again. What would it be kind of 4 or 5 years later? So yeah, Alien Isolation, amazing game. I'm so happy they're doing a second one to this finally. 2014 this came out. Oh my god, I remember doing gameplay videos to this when it was released, and then I didn't play much. We got to the 4th mission, and then I stopped, and then came back to it 7 years later to get the platinum. And I love it. I think it's one of the best survival horror games ever. I would put it in top 10. It's not on the level of Dead Space or Resident Evils for me, but it's there. It is in there. Really, really cool game. I love the Alien films as well, so I was a huge fan of the Alien franchise. It was just really cool. I think this was my 150th, was Bioshock. I think I made that intentional to make sure it's Bioshock. So I want to say this is my 150th platinum, was Bioshock remastered, which I've played a billion times. We spoke about it on PS3, as I said. My second favourite game of all time. So excited for Judas, Ken Levine's next game, which better be this year, because I would argue I'm actually more excited for Judas than I am Grand Theft Auto 6. But we'll see. They're both going to be 10 out of 10s, I'm absolutely sure of it. Bioshock 2 remastered. Bioshock 2, not as good as the first one, of course, but still I'd still give this like an 8 out of 10, I'd say. The first is a 10 out of 10, but this is like a 8 out of 10. Really great game. Cool, really cool story with this one as well. I like the story. Again, didn't get the DLCs to this one, but... And then, was this the last... No, this wasn't the last platinum yet. This was Lego phase, so you're going to see a lot of Lego games now, but Lego Marvel Superheroes. This was when I just bought my first really big TV. I remember it came and arrived, and this was the first game we played on it. I'd had like big TVs before, but like in terms of a 70, 80 inches, like the first one. So that was really cool to play, and doing co-op on that with the split screen was good fun. Then Assassin's Creed 2, did a video on that, I believe? No, I did a video on Brotherhood. I hadn't even started platinum videos yet. That's way later. I just played Assassin's Creed 2 because I really wanted to play it. Because I love the I love the Assassin's Creed games. I know they had some stinky games, but especially Assassin's Creed 2. That's top 25 games of all time for me. Not quite top 10, but top 25. I'd probably put Assassin's Creed 2 in there. Next Lego game, Lego Jurassic World. Yeah, sure. Didn't love this one, to be honest. It was fun, but I think at this point I wasn't getting like Lego fatigue, but I think the next one is like, okay, you are just getting all the mini kits and all the gold bricks, and because I don't love Jurassic, I've not seen any of the Jurassic Park films. The only Jurassic Park films I've seen is Jurassic World. Which I feel like is blasphemous to say. I've seen Jurassic Park at some point in my life, but I was so young I don't even remember it. I've seen the scenes so many times that I know a lot of the scenes, but yeah, I'll watch them at some point for sure. Streets of Rage 4, really cool game, really enjoyed that. F1, I've got a couple of the F1 games, I think maybe only 2 actually, but they're kind of the same thing, so it's like, you don't need to play more than that. I feel like F1 I can play it every other year. I don't need to play it every single year. But yeah, I went through this again with my dad, and that was really good fun. Enjoyed a good racer, to be fair. I know I used to care for racing, but I think like the last few years I've kind of got a bit more into racing games. Every now and again, not all the time. Are we still in No, we're in 2022 there, so that would be the last trophy of... Oh no, wow, that was like January 2022, so we'll leave it there. I think that's like 152 or 153 platinums at that point, so that's another good chunk done. As you can see, around that time it was basically just platinum. Like I was really into platinum zone in 2021 and 2022. That should pretty much be the same. And then 23 I started to slow down a bit, and then 24 I think I only got like 20 platinums in 2024, so that would be barely any. 2025 I'm doing even worse in. I think so far this year, 2 months in, I've done 4 or 5, so I'm doing a lot of like 100%ers instead of platinums, but there we go guys. I've spoke for I don't know how long, just non-stop, so I'm going to go now, but thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. We will have another part to this where I'll get through another 50 platinums, and we'll probably another 2 or 3 parts will have caught up to where I'm at. So yeah, until then, thanks for watching, take care, peace.